Alright lads, so in less than a week's time, we're going to be getting the 1000-Year Blood War Round 4 Resurrections. We talked about it yesterday. I'm pretty excited for this particular batch. And because I'm so excited for it, I want to showcase the characters once more before they do get resurrected. And just talk about them and how they were, what the opinions were of these characters when they officially released all those years ago. Alright, so jumping into a quest then. First off, we're going to showcase the MVP of this entire banner, right? The character that was the best character in the game on his release, and that is a true Bankai Ichigo. Which, fun fact to the OGs, his old character used to have a different model, where if we used his SA2, which transforms him into his Horn of Salvation, it's kind of awkward because we actually get clothes back on, which is like, doesn't really make sense. But when you actually transformed, we had the butter knife, or I guess the knife that we see at the end of the special. It didn't make sense, so because of that, Kayla did eventually go back and change it. So now we have the actual, unbroken Bankai, which in my opinion, I think looks a lot more cooler. I love the design of this Zanpakuto, and in model, it just looks really cool. So looking at the actual character, right, what a cool character. Showcasing his true Bankai. His SA1 is going to be a lunge forward, which granted isn't like the best SA1 nowadays. It's still good, don't get me wrong, but at the time when this character released, a lunge SA1 was the best strong attack one you could ask for. His SA2 is going to be area around him, which is a boost SA2, which he can infinitely stack. It's not, again, for the time now, it's not that special that he can infinitely stack a boost SA2, but back then it was kind of special. There wasn't that many SP characters that had a boost SA2, so the fact that he could stack it was actually somewhat notable, and as well, at the same time, it's still one of the few characters in the game. Alongside boosting your stats with that SA2, he does transform. In this case, we go into the Horn of Salvation form, and that actually gives him a 20% increase on his magnifications, which allows him to hit a tad bit harder, which for the time, we didn't really have characters with high berserkers or berserkers at all, so that 20% magnification increase was actually quite noticeable, and it did allow him to be one of the hardest hitting characters in the game. And then for the rest of his kit, his SA3 is a full screen, really cool visuals, and because he is the transforming character, the aura, I believe, for the attacks changed too. His SA1 was a blue aura, his SA3 is also blue, but then when you transform, you can see it goes from blue to purple, and then his visuals also change. SA1 was purple, SA3 is now purple. But I'll tell you what, it's probably not the best place to bring this character. He doesn't have like a super high damage output, so bringing him to the Human Killer IT probably wasn't the best option, but we're doing it anyway. We're doing it anyway. So we go use our SA2, and then Sobom. Such a cool soul bomb. I think they did an amazing job with that. Combining like 2 to 3 attacks that he did do all in one go was so cool, and the slowdown is absolutely stunning. I can't wait to see what they do with this character when they make a new one, which with the rate we're going with the anime, it's probably not going to be to like 2025. But Caleb have gotten really better with their animations, especially when it comes to the soul bomb. I'm kind of excited to see what they do and how they can improve this one, because they can easily improve it. But the current one I have right now is super cool, and over the Ichigo is a fun character, right? But jumping into a more appropriate quest, in this case, we're going to do single player IZ, which is around when the character came out. So this is a better demonstration to see how he performed back all those years ago. But I'm pretty excited about his resurrection, mainly due to the fact that it opens up a lot more usability for this particular character. I know there was some disappointment by the fact that he didn't get Havoc, and funny enough, he was the only character in this entire banner to not have Havoc now, which is kind of due to the fact that he was already given 8 skills. I feel like maybe if he didn't have that extra immunity back all those years ago, it would have been better for now with this resurrection, because Caleb could only give him 1 skill, and Havoc plus 20%, would have been great, don't get me wrong. Havoc would have been amazing on this character, but I feel like the booster skill overall in the overarching game is better for the longevity of this character, because as of right now, the booster skill is somewhat a rare skill. I think only like 7 or so characters have it, and only 3 of them are SP based, so this actually allows him to be a decent character in epic raid content if you give him the Sun link, or you can even use him in guild quests. A lot of times I bring characters with the booster skill just for the purpose of being a booster, and sometimes it doesn't even matter if they do damage or not. So I think this upgrade that he did get with the booster skill that he's about to get, right, I think is good for just usability. It's going to allow him to be used in content that he originally wouldn't really be used in. Havoc would have been nice, but that wouldn't really give you a reason to use him. With the booster skill, I can actually see myself unironically using him in epic raids and also guild quests. Mainly guild quests though, so I think the booster skill that he's going to pick up is going to be a good and a welcoming upgrade. And dare I say, it probably is better than picking up Havoc. Next up, though, we have 1000-Year Blood War Yuha. The first time this character got put into the game, Again, monumental moment in the Bleach Brave Swords community, having this character in-game, which is something that a lot of us actually called for, because again, if you don't know, his voice actor, I guess it's not even a secret now, Zangetsu was a past version of Yuha. So the whole thing about 1,000 Year Blood War characters like Ichigo, Squad Zero, and Quincy is that they didn't have voice actors available, whereas Yuha always had a voice actor, right? It was Zangetsu, so we always expected Yuha to come into the game, but it was still a very big and super hype surprise when they officially announced that he was coming in the 4th round. I remember being so excited for that.
Oh, we're finally getting Ginjo in that outfit. That's cool.
No way! No way! No way! No way! Whoa! But then all that excitement got quickly swept away with the release of this character because, oh my god, is he absolutely terrible. So we're doing IZ right now, and look how slow it is. For starters, he had a 900 AoE SA3. Visually, I gotta say, he's perfect, right? I still think he actually aged quite well in terms of visuals. I absolutely love this character, but in practical use, it's just terrible. So his SA1, pretty good, it just doesn't do that much damage. SA2, AoE in front of him, it makes sense. It's not really that great though. And in his SA3, it's just a, 900 AoE around him. The problem with this character, though, is that he just didn't have any good skills. He was given Bombardment, no Frenzy, no Flurry, decent Berserker, and also Bruiser. He was basically like, 1,000 Year Blood War Byakuya, but mainly, I guess, designed for Brave Battles, the counter of Unohana at the time. Wasn't really that cool. And no one was happy about this. We all wanted to use Yuha, and the fact that he was relegated to Brave Battles, and even then he was always gimmicky, was kind of, super disappointing. Especially because this character is actually pretty cool. If we use the Soul Bomb here... It's Yuha activating the Almighty, and he's a transforming character too. The model was cool. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely had my fair share of fun with this character when I did pull him. I made sure to use him, but it wasn't that fun. It was terrible to go through content. In this case, a single player IZ, it took us 2 minutes. No, it's terrible. Yuha is a bad character. And while it was unfortunate that the remake of Yuha that happens years later for the 7th anniversary was also another Brave Battle character, at the very least, he is the best Brave Battle character, right? So there at least is some redemption in that. If you're gonna make this cool character a Brave Battle character, you best make him the best character in that mode, which they did with the new version. This one was, again, always gimmicky. His main purpose was just to be a stall character and try and grab the Soul Bomb, and that was really about it. Dupes definitely made him viable, and there was also some hope that he could be a really hard-hitting nuke from the get-go, because as this character did release, we also got the Senka Eisen links. So there was some anticipation as the months went on, as we got those Senka Eisen links, and we were really hoping that he could make an impact with those 3 links in Brave Battles, but yeah, he didn't really, again, age the best, right? But to be fair, in a way, he has seen the most use out of this entire banner because you actually can use him in Guild Quest. And with his upcoming Resurrection, he is going to pick up 20% Devastation, which unironically does help him out a tad bit. It's going to allow him to be a better nuke, which is what this character was only good for. And he's also picking up 20% Havoc, which in my opinion is absolutely wasted on this character. He does not need the Havoc. I mean, his strong attacks don't do any damage anyway. Why are we getting more range? I would have much preferred if you picked up someone like Weakened Defense or maybe Full Stamina, just to further push that narrative of him being a nuker. But I'm playing this character wrong. Unfortunately, I did take a bit of damage. Let's use our Soul Bomb here, because he is a transforming character, right? And what I liked about it is that all of his attacks become weakening attacks. The shield that he has too also changes to show Blood Vein. It was actually really cool. And the visuals are great too. Him using all the Almighty attacks. Look at that. Really cool attacks. And then the SA3, I'm a massive fan of. I still think his visuals hold up. I think I prefer his visuals now compared to the new one that we have, but the new one isn't far behind. I just really like the visuals for this particular Almighty Yuha. But yeah, overall, really cool character that was unfortunately given the biggest shot, which is one of the biggest disappointments for the final villain of Bleach. The first time we ever saw this character in-game, voice acted, in color, a monumental moment in the Bleach community that unfortunately was not that exciting after he got revealed because he was, quite mediocre. Next up, though, we are taking 1,000 Year Blood War Oneeichi into IT. This was my favorite character of the entire collaboration, or introduction of 1,000 Year Blood War. This was the character that I was waiting for, and she did not disappoint. Visually, I think she looks great. I love the model, especially because it's the uncensored Oneeichi. Look at that. Look at that back. It's beautiful. But other than that, I mean, she actually aged quite well here. Really good strong attacks. I always loved that SA2. It has really good range to it. And she, once more, is also a transforming character. So we had 3 transforming characters in this particular banner. mana, 2 from the Soul Bomb and 1 from the SA2 boost move. Now, I actually remember looking at the data mined voice lines for this character and hearing Yoruichi hiss. I started freaking out about it. It was crazy. Speaking of freaking out, I also freaked out when I actually pulled her.
Please.
Oh, let's go! Let's go! We did it! We did it! Yeah! That was back in the day when I used to be like somewhat free to play. So pulling a character was like super exciting. It still is, but like after waiting years for this character to come out into the game, she finally came out and it came down to the last summon. So finally getting her was like super exciting, especially given the fact that individual banners never treated me well back then. So it was more exciting to pull her because it never went my way. But yeah, on a release, she was a great character, one of the best in the entire game. And in this case, we're going to demonstrate our Soul Bomb. Let's use that.
Shunko, Raiju Senki, Jinryu Kokubyo Senki.
Love the Soul Bomb. She also introduced the little AoE around her that I believe Rukia introduced. So it was another example of that. But also, just look at the model. I can't wait for it. I'm hoping that if we do get a new Yoruichi, it's just in her cat form. This model is just great. I'm fanboying over this now. Also, if you don't know, she had like a unique Nad string where she gets significantly more range. It's so cool. Like, this is such a fun character. I can't wait for this resurrection because when she does resurrect, if you missed yesterday's video, she's picking up Berserker and also Havoc. That is a great upgrade. Look at that. Amazing. We're going to have to redo that again because I want to play in that cat form more. Alright, let's run that again. Since she's actually so good, we're just going to take into double IT. Usually we'll do an IT quest, then an IZ quest. In her case, she deserves to be brought in Inheritance Trials twice. But yeah, I just remember playing with this character multiple times as my main go-to character, especially in IZ, and just having so much fun with her. And I can't wait to do that again with this new Resurrection, because that 20% Berserker she's picking up and the Havoc is really going to make a difference, because that SA1, it has some decent range to it, but the SA2 already has great range. So to pick up Havoc with that is going to be so good. And a 40% Berserker with Status Augment and also Havoc is good enough to be used. Like, I know there's significantly better characters out there, and this doesn't make her OP or anything, but it's going to make her fun, especially if you can max Transcender. I'm definitely going to do that. It's my favorite Yoruichi in the game. I'm a Yoruichi fan. Let's transform here. Kind of wasted it. My bad. But we get to use our SA1, 2, and 3 again. And I just love the visuals. I love the voice acting, her just hissing. Again, it's super fun. And I would love to use the Nat string more, but we gotta be careful against these mobs. And when she came out, Guild Quest, the speedrun Guild Quest is also a thing, and she was great with the double lunge. And there we go, we de-transformed, our strong attacks are back, and now we're going into the final room, where we can then transform again, but I'm pretty sure we're just gonna kill with our Soul Bomb. Yes, we did. Love the model. Still one of my favorite characters in the entire game. Can't wait to try her in a couple of days' time when she gets a new upgrade, picking up exactly what she wanted. 20% more range, 20% more damage, and also 10% more recharge. I think that Resurrection is going to go down as one of the better Resurrections in the game. And at the same time, I'm also looking forward to a new version of this Yoruichi. Hopefully this time permanently in the cat form, because, you know, Transformation Soul Bombs are nice and all. They're actually really cool and I want to see them more often than not. But I also want to permanently stay in that cat form. So here's hoping to like 2024, 2025 when we finally get that form. And last but not least, we have the Bankai Kisuke. Again, iconic character, super fun. I think this character has some of the better visuals in the game for his time. I really love that SA3. The whole tearing apart space is actually really cool. Like, that Nat string has without a doubt gotta be the best looking Nat string in the entire game. Like, I forgot how good this looks. Oh my god. Now, even though this character wasn't a transforming character, he's the only one of the 3 that isn't transforming. He at least did come with a unique effect. He was the first character in the game to have the revive mechanic on the Soul Bomb, which makes sense. I think a lot of us were expecting him to have something like that. But you know, if they come up with a new character with a similar Nat string like this, I wouldn't mind him being Nad based, because I would love to use this Nat string all day. Strong attacks though, he's not really the best. SA1 is that very bad strong attack that we unfortunately saw return with the new Fierce Battle Stark. But you know what? He isn't too bad, and with this Resurrection that he's going to pick up in a couple days' time, I'm excited for it because he's getting 50% more damage to enemies not affected by an ailment. That's a pretty big damage increase. And then alongside that too, he's also picking up 80% Last Ditch, which is going to make him a tad bit more safe to play, which is kind of doubling down on the fact that he's kind of not immortal, but he can't really die. And then he's also getting 20% more Havoc, which is going to help out his, more so his SA2, because SA2 is like an AoE around him. It means you have to get a tad bit close. So the more range in that's going to help him out a tad bit. And even that SA1, I guess, you know, it's still a bad SA1, but the more damage and range is really going to help. His SA3, though, it's going to be a big boy strong attack with that more range and damage. So I just can't wait to play his character again. It's going to be sick. But I guess in this case, let's use his Soul Bomb here.
観音開き絵に姫改め仕方ないっすね
And I'm not gonna lie, while it's a really cool soul bomb, unfortunately got paralyzed, it's not that good. It hasn't aged the best in my opinion. I feel like the character's really static. We're gonna play it again if I possibly can, but he doesn't move much, and that's my problem with this soul bomb, and which is why I'm looking forward to a potential remake of this in the future. Like, he's not moving. The character is not moving there, and then he jumps forward, does a really cool slash, and once more does a very static pose. Like, why is bro just standing still? It's such a weird soul bomb. The character has like 10 keyframes in the entire thing. It's weird. But I feel like Caleb maybe didn't know what to do with the character, so he has like one slash and then just stands still for the rest of the soul bomb. It looks really awkward. But you know what? It wasn't too bad. So let's take him into IZ and see how he performs here. Should perform relatively well. Now, personally, I don't really have any like nostalgia for this particular character, mainly due to the fact that it took me a while to pull him. Because on the initial banner, I ended up getting 4 Ichigos, who was one of my first max transcended characters, and also a couple Yuhas. Didn't get Oneeichi, didn't get the Kisuke, unfortunately, even though I dropped around 5,000 orbs. And obviously at that point, while I did really want Kisuke, my main goal was to get the Oneeichi, so I saved up for her individual, and that's where I got her. So I didn't really get a chance to summon for Kisuke, especially as a free-to-play back then. And at the same time, you know, back then, the summons were brutal. I know it's kind of unfortunate we don't have a pity system now, but we are in a way better position than we were all those years ago. 250 orbs, no discounts, no guarantees. It was rough. 3% rate, terrible. Oh, but that SA3 was actually kind of cool. I didn't realize he actually bends down when he uses SA3. Let's do that again. So let's use the SA3. Yeah, that's a really cool. This has got to be the best visuals on any Kisuke. I'm really hoping that when we do get a new one, which obviously will happen in like 2025, they can do the character justice. Just give him the same nad string. Give him the same visuals. It's perfect. You don't need to make it better. Or if you can make it better, by all means, go ahead and do it. But they perfected it with these visuals. I don't think they need to change anything, honestly. Just give him better strong attacks, same visuals, same nad string, call it a day, and I'm going to be happy. He's a really cool Kisuke. Probably the best looking Kisuke in the entire game. Let's hope when he does get remade, they don't mess it up. But yeah, with us, lads, that was the video for today, just showcasing and reminiscing to a certain extent on 1000 Year Blood War Round 4 before they do get their new and quite OP upgrades in terms of resurrection standards. I'm super excited for it. Hope you lads are too. And in the comments below, let me know who you're most looking forward to. For me, of course, it's going to be Oneeichi. But I'm excited to try out all 4 of them. I think all 4 of them are going to be great. They're all definitely going to be usable now. Even Yuha, mainly in Guild Quest though. But yeah, iconic banner. I think the resurrections do them justice. So I can't wait to try them out in a couple days time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Take care and peace.